He's inescapable, man. You go anywhere. Go to the toy aisle. Go to the toy aisle, you're going to see yellow. Go to the bathroom, boom, beat you to it. Turn around, whew, who's that? It's him. Of course, talking about Minions. Actually, no, I'm talking about this guy. Bumblebee. We all love Bumblebee, right? I know some of us don't, and that's okay. You don't have to love Bumblebee, but at least Bumblebee is actually kind of cool and pretty likable. And let's just say I fell victim to the 2007 Bumblebee craze. Everyone wanted a Bumblebee back then, man. Everyone. Who didn't want a Bumblebee? And I wanted the old Camaro Bumblebee. I wanted that for Christmas. And I didn't get it. I got a t-shirt of Bumblebee instead. From that point on, I still wanted it. I still wanted a Bumblebee, and to this day, I'm still a little hurt that all I got was a t-shirt. But hey, let's just say 2012 rolled around, and I finally got a Bumblebee I actually kind of liked. This one, Transformers Prime. This one's pretty cool, but it's not the movie Bumblebee. It's not what I wanted. So I got a movie Bumblebee, then I got another one, then another one. And see, this is where I fell victim to something I like to call wish fulfillment, where I wished for a Bumblebee toy growing up, and I never was satisfied. And I kept buying them, and I'm still buying them. This new Bumblebee movie coming out, man. I don't have a lot of the toys. Stay tuned to part 2 for that. But I do have some of them, and you will be seeing some of them. But something else that just fueled all of this is the thrift store. I get some great stuff at the thrift store, and almost all of the stupid Bumblebee things you're gonna see in this video. Thrift store, man.
You mess with me. Side effects may include headaches, upset stomach, and
total annihilation.
Okay, not that cool. And it's got a glove too. I'm 20 years old. Man, all I can say is that the Bumblebee craze of 2007 still is going strong. It's been going strong for a while, and with this new movie coming out, which I got opening night tickets for, I might as well cash in on it. Might as well make a whole video showing off my Bumblebee toys. That's exactly what I'm doing. So let me get this helmet off that's really hurting my nose. Well, without further ado, I guess we should start talking about him. Might as well start off with the one I always wanted. It's the old Camaro Bumblebee. What can I say, man? I just got a soft spot for this one. This is the toy I always wanted. This was the Bumblebee that kick-started my obsession with Bumblebee, and I think this thing's pretty terrible. I got this figure pretty used and abused, but this is a problem that all of them have. The front of the car, it does a little trick in the transformation, and it just doesn't tab in, man. It's not working. It's not working with me, and that's a problem. That's a true problem. If I saw a car on the lot with a giant crack in its hood, I probably wouldn't buy it. But Sam bought it anyway. That's how the movies happened. The transformation on this guy is pretty interesting because it kind of goes away from the traditional Bumblebee transformations, while at the same time it's still pretty much the same thing and really did set the standard. It does, of course, have the automorph gimmicks that were present in the original Transformers movie line, and that's probably why this thing has some issues. Okay, so from the waist up, this guy's actually pretty decent. I think it looks cool, but then you get to this, and what is this? What kind of feet are these supposed to be? They look like platform shoes. And on top of that, they're so massive, but at the same time, he doesn't like standing up because they're just so loosey-goosey, and he's just... Remind me, why did I want this so much again? Oh yeah, because old cars are cooler than new cars. Duh! Looks like they took the definition of Bumblebee a little too literally on those giant bug eyes. Dude, this face is just so weird. It looks like a skull. It looks kind of scary, man, and why is it black? Yo, what if Bumblebee's a smoker, man? That's why he's got the black face, because he's just coughing up the smoke and it's just blowing right in his face. That's why it's black. That was probably the most stale joke I've heard fall flat right on the floor. Alright, is that how original you're gonna be, man? Are you just trying to be a YouTuber or something? Because this is sad. The forced humor, stop it, man. This is sad. Just give it up. Give everything up. Your life, your dreams, your hopes. Let it die. Moving on. Overall, I like this Bumblebee. It's a very cool first version. I kind of see why I wanted it when I was a kid, but it's definitely, it's probably like one of the worst. It's probably just one of the worst, man. Next up, we have this Bumblebee. I got it at the thrift store, and it does this. There you go. Dude, I don't know what movie this one came from, but he's orange, and he looks a little scary. Let's just move on. Hey, look, they made a movie Bumblebee from one of those little 30th guys. How atrocious. What is this face? Dude! No! Stop! Oh no, you better look out. He's got the cube. He's got the cube. What's he gonna get next, huh? The Matrix, the staff, the pillars, oh man, the seed, the thing, the bleh. One thing you may notice about these Bumblebees, this Burger King toy, not an exception, is that they have really creepy faces. It seems like they just took the look of Bumblebee's face and they didn't know how to translate it into plastic, so this is what happened. I especially don't like the idea that I'm looking down his arm. That's spooky, and his neck looks broken, man. He looks a little dead inside. Outside, actually. Can't forget to give the little die-cast cars a shout-out, because these are things that exist. And hey, look, it's a little robot. Honestly, though, this thing you're probably never gonna see looks better than some of the other Bumblebees I'm gonna show you. It looks way better than the creepy one, I can tell you that. You know, I've always had a fondness for the Legends class guys. Maybe I should talk...
You fool. You think you can stop Bumblebee? I will live on forever.
Maybe I should talk about those. I like to call this one Grandma Bumblebee. Do you know why I call it Grandma Bumblebee? Because when you get it in its robot mode, what does it look like? It looks like a grandma. Honestly, though, I think these Legion guys are kind of cute. Let's keep on talking about the Legends class boys. We got the Revenge of the Fallen Legends class Bumblebee. This one's actually kind of cool, just a little bit. I like how it flip me doos the things, and then boom, there you go. He's not as much as he is Saggy Grandma, as much as he is... looks like he just skipped arm day and went straight to chest day. I don't know, man. But it's a little guy. It's a little guy, man. It's cute. And they did it in Age of Extinction, too. They got a little lazy, and they just repainted it. And here you go. Look, he's got a white face this time. Why? I don't know. Is he trying to cosplay as the Joker? Is he trying to cosplay as a big chest Joker? Is he trying to cosplay as Mr. Freeze? Is he trying to cosplay as, insert pale character here? Without a doubt, the best Legion toy is going to come to us from Dark of the Moon. It just does all the right things, man. It looks really good. It just does all the right things. You can bend his knees. You can pose him. He looks way nicer despite still having the large chest. That head sculpt is actually really charming and cute. And this is... probably one of my favorite tiny Bumblebees, and I'm so happy I have it. It makes me warm inside. He's also got the arm gun, dude. Oh my god. And he can hold stuff, too, if you want him to. It's awesome. Can I give this one a 2 out of 10? I think... oh, man. Man, he might deserve a 3. One awesome thing is that the new Bumblebee movie is actually reviving these Legends class guys. They call them something now, which is fine. And they did one not only for the classic Bumblebee, but they also did it for the old Chimera Bumblebee. I only got the VW Bumblebee right now. And, man, this could be the new nice one. I mean, I still really like the Dark of the Moon one, but this one just looks so nice. He actually doesn't have the door wings, which is more than I can say for other movie Bumblebees that are inaccurate with the door wings. I love it, man. It's a good, The little Legends class, Legion class, whatever Bumblebees, they're really cute, and I love them, and you should probably buy at least these two. At least those two. Those, don't worry about it, man. You're all good. Do you remember Bumblebee literally got his legs blasted off in the movie and this truck had to carry him around? Well, they actually did make a Transformer of the truck, and that's really cool. They call him Long Arm, and he's great. But they also did a pack with the legless Bumblebee. This is a thing that exists. Your eyes do not deceive you. They made a toy of crippled Bumblebee, and why does it look so good? Long Arm just hooks to the back of it, but I'm gonna warn you, this hook can go in all of the way and it is almost impossible to get out. So just kind of leave it right there, and then you can actually remove it. Damn. Legless Bumblebee is actually his own action figure with actual articulation. He's Legless Bumblebee, but you can move him around and make him do things. This is... Why did they do this? Why is this something that exists? Okay. Could you just not pop off the legs of your actual Bumblebee toys? Did you have to do this? Did you have to remind me of when he was all sad and crippled? Still managed to kill my boy Brawl, though. Did you always want your own little Megan Fox? Here you go. It's in the truck. There you go. Say hi to Megan Fox. She's in there. Okay. Feast your eyes on this! On this! It's a Bumblebee. It's this thing. And you know what it does? It has a button and you do this. There we go. I spent $3 on this one. And I love it. It is my favorite Bumblebee. Honestly, I wouldn't be so upset if I could at least properly like get it back, but I don't know how to get it back. I just mash it until it goes back. That's how I do it. Do you guys remember back in 2004 when these were a thing? One-step changers. They're still a thing. Did you know that? And I actually kind of like these. I think they're really cool. Do you want to know why? Because look at this one. All you do is... Whoa! Man, that's what happens. You just... Boom, there you go. There's a Bumblebee. There's your Bumblebee toy. He's ready to fight. He's going to fight. He's going to go out and he's ready to fight. And he's got a big black belly, but he's ready to fight. And he'll fight for you and all of the Autobots. And yo, look at this one. It's pretty cool. It goes, whoa! Oh, man. Epic T-pose action. Here, it's the best. Simply the best. I love this one because you can just... Man, look at that. Oh, these are so cool. How much are these again? Next. For significantly less money, you can get these. These are new to the scene. They're called Tiny Turbo Changers, and they're tiny and they turbo change. Do you know how they turbo change? Well, I'll show you. This one right here, right? This is called a Bumblebee, and you do this, and then you like flip this out, and then you know what I've done right now? Boom, boom, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, baby. Bada boom. It was a Bumblebee. Look at that face, man. Oh, so cuddly and cute. As in, it's really scary. And yo, your eyes are not going to believe this one. You know what you do? You boom. There you go. You see all that nice silver? I added that. His face is there, but nothing else is. I just took a silver Sharpie to him, and I felt like doing that. It's kind of cute. He's got like... I feel like these should actually do something, but they don't. So I'm just... sitting here trying to like fillet his legs out and nothing happens, and every time I try to move his arms down to a natural level, they just... Oh wow, they're actually... Oh, okay. Overall, these things are cute, but they're really dumb. So it's up to you if you want to buy these or not. Next up in the world of dumb bumblebees, we have big dumb bumblebees. This one is from Revenge of the Fallen. I'm telling you what, this is the coolest hot toy of the summer. Because you press the button on his chest, right? And
You wanna go? You wanna go?
whoa, dude. Look at that. Are you scared yet? Are you scared? You wanna go? Ah. Why is it so clicky? Ah. It's gonna pop my eardrums. Come on, man. You think that's all I got? You wanna go? I got another one. This one's from Dark of the Moon, man. And he's got a big blue shoulder. And you move the big blue shoulder. And look at this, man. He's got a gun. Look at that. Actually, it's a fan, man. I'm getting fanned by this. I'm getting wind. And of course, this one has to talk too. He's not as clicky, thank God, but he does talk.
Bumblebee, reporting for duty, sir.
Damn, what are you, a clone trooper or something? I swear, this is the last big dumb Bumblebee we're talking about. This is from Age of Extinction, and he's called the Mega One-Step Bumblebee. This thing was probably $70. Okay, so it probably wasn't that much, but I only paid a couple bucks for it at the thrift store because it's missing a wheel. How you do this one, it's like the other one that I got really excited about, where you just flip him, he just accordions out, and he takes up all of the space. And there you go. He's done. You can move him a little bit more. But what is with this? This is how it lays, man. This is a problem. It looks like he's just got this giant apron, and if you lift it up, his crotch is just under his, it's just there. He's just got a chest, and then there's his crotch. No, actually, that's just his crotch. And he just wears this apron to disguise his falsehood. The head sculpt is surprisingly really cool, though. Man, too bad it's on a literal box. Oh, okay, this isn't Bumblebee, this is Cliffjumper from the Allspark Powers subline. Anyways, it's the first movie Bumblebee, okay, but he's red. One thing you gotta give these classic Transformers movie toys is that they have really, really exquisite alt modes. Most of the time. And one awesome thing about this one is that he actually has weapon storage underneath. Transformation on this one is definitely not a breeze, especially if you're trying to rush it for an online video. Yet again, the automorph just kind of gets in the way, and things are popping off like this shoulder pad thing that just should have been glued on. But hey, at least he has a cool gun gimmick. I really like how it flips out into a knife. Overall, I think this one's pretty cool, man. I think it's a cool Bumblebee, and they kind of reused the sculpt again in Revenge of the Fallen. They did tweak it a little bit. I think this is just, it still kind of holds up to this day, especially in robot mode. It has some interesting articulation, and I like how these chest things move up to kind of give a more movie accurate appearance. Man, it's pretty nice, especially for the age. I'd get it if you're into Bumblebee like I am. Skipping the Revenge of the Fallen line because that movie was terrible, let's move on to Hunt for the Decepticons. Hunt for the Decepticons Bumblebee is absolutely awesome, man. It's probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite. Transformation on this Bumblebee is much easier than the movie 1 version. However, I do have to say, it does have some clearance issues with its head. It's easier to just pop the head off, because if you don't, you're going to end up getting little scratch marks like I have on mine. I think the robot mode looks great. The proportions are a little weird, but honestly, it's movie Bumblebee. You should kind of expect odd proportions by now. Head to toe, I think this was the king of the Bumblebees for its time, and I still think it ranks pretty high. Literally high. It's kind of tall, dude. I don't know why. This one has some cool gimmicks, like being the first deluxe class Bumblebee to actually have a flip-down battle mask. It also got the name Battle Blade for a reason, because it has a flip-out battle blade. You also even have a flip-out cannon, which just so cool, dude. You just have an optional cannon arm. It's nice. Man, it's nice. Overall, we'll currently rate this one the king of the Bumblebees. Dark of the Moon is where this video actually starts getting interesting, because it wasn't before. Dark of the Moon is the first time they actually drastically changed Bumblebee's design, but it's definitely not going to be the last. The car mode on the Dark of the Moon Deluxe is really, really cool, and if you're wondering why it has a little bit of wear, this was actually my first movie Bumblebee. Dude, I could probably transform this thing with my eyes closed. I love this guy. He takes the base elements of the Bumblebee transformation and just simplifies and kind of perfects them, just making a really fun action figure. The basic robot's really posable and looks really good, and honestly, if you want to use this as like your, you know, awesome Bumblebee, do it, man. This is high up on the rank scale for me. I think this one's great. He did come with a mech tech weapon where you pressed it and it went swoop, swoop, swoop. But I don't have it anymore. I don't know what happened to it. It's somewhere, man. Yeah, remember when I said I was gonna skip Revenge of the Fallen?
I lied.
This is technically a Dark of the Moon toy. Technically. But it's the Revenge of the Fallen Human Alliance Bumblebee, but in black. And, oof, man. This is a slick-looking car. Ugly, odd blue windshields aside, I think the silver, the yellow, and the black just works really, really well on this Bumblebee. Human Alliance Bumblebee's transformation and whole style really inspired the Battle Blades Bumblebee I just covered. It's pretty intricate and it's pretty involved because it actually has a full car interior, something I kind of forgot to show in the vehicle mode, but you know what? Screw it. I'm not professional. I'm not going to go back and show you that. Hello! This guy is really, really tall. Seeing him with his son here, you can see he's big, man. He's a big Bumblebee. You know what? That's okay. We kind of need big Bumblebees sometimes that aren't those things.
Transformers Cyber Stuffers, each sold separately.
The look of this Bumblebee is really cool, and when it came out, a lot of people considered it to be probably one of the best, if not the best. Of course, his son kind of passes him up, but hey, he still has the flip mask, and he's got the handgun, even though he doesn't have a normal hand at this time around. And he's got the chairs on his arms, and they have little guns on them, Because you can have a little Sam Witwicky figure that I don't have. And you can have the guns out, and you can have him interact with the Bumblebee, because that's exactly what they did in the movie, right? Sam Witwicky just didn't do anything but cry. He didn't just cry the whole time. He fought alongside Bumblebee heroically and bravely. Yo, I have this Mutt Williams I painted with a black shirt to be Sam Witwicky. Maybe this will work. Perfect. Let's wrap up Dark of the Moon with the leader class Bumblebee. What is this? What is this? Huh? It's just a chunk of metal on it. What does it do? Hey, at least it kind of makes a noise. Pew 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 pew. Pwah, pwah, pew pew pew. Yeah, can we just... Here we go. Honestly, man, this car mode is really nice. What can I say? It's just really nice. I don't really know how well this scales, but I think it's okay. I feel like the car is still a little small, but it's kind of 1/18 scale. It's kind of there. It's getting there, but it's certainly one of the largest transforming Chimera Bumblebees we got. These things, I hate these things. You always try to move the legs, and those things just always get in your fucking way. Maybe if I just... Man, there we go. Let's just do that first. Let's just get that out of the way. But everyone's gonna be saying, oh man, you're struggling on the little shin pieces a lot, man. Are you okay? No, I'm not okay, man. You know how many Bumblebees I've had to transform? You know how Bumblebees, you know how many still gotta transform? A lot, you know? Gotta transform a lot for the rest of this video, you know? And it's a little stressful sometimes. It's a little, these things again in my way. It's a little stressful sometimes. Look at this. Look at this. What is this? It's just arms. Arms. His arms are attached to arms, dude. Dude. The transformation on this one's interesting. I'm doing it in real time for this segment because I just want to show that, hey, it's got some interesting things going on. Like his armatures, get it? They kind of tab into the sides. And that's something new and interesting that actually allows his arms to not flop around like a floppy mess, so they're actually attached to his shoulders. And I like that. But man, once you start transforming this guy, you start to realize how giant he is. He's a very big Bumblebee. And I think Hasbro definitely knew that and was definitely trying to market this to the audience of people who like big Bumblebees. First thing I realized about this Bumblebee when I first get him in robot mode is how big he is, man. Look at that. There's Human Alliance. There's the Human Alliance. Here's the first deluxe. This is definitely a leader class. Definitely. It's huge. Secondly, he also has the beefiest body I've ever seen on a Bumblebee. It is just beef city. His shoulders, like his chest, goes above his head. His head needs to be a little higher or something, because it just looks like he's in Chunksville, USA, right here. It's a little off-putting. You can do this with his hand if you want. And also, if you hate yourself as much as I do, you can put this back on his back, and you can do the thing with it, where it goes up and doesn't stay on, because this is probably the worst thing in existence. Hey, look, it's up. It's up, and it folds down. And do you want to know how even worse this thing is? This is supposed to have a little Autobot logo that goes right here, right? So you can press it easier. It doesn't stay on, dude! This is garbage. This just is trash. This is the trashiest thing you're gonna see in this video. Well, I mean, creepy Bumblebee. So with Dark of the Moon done in a nice sweet little package, Age of Extinction time. This car mode is pretty cool, dude. I hate these clear windows with a passion, but oh shit. But besides that, I also hate these little yellow things. They look like nostrils. Looks like he's just got nostrils on the car. I hate the Disney car movies because I always see, oh, there's the eyes, and then that's gonna be a mouth. So I think of those as, Let's transform it. The transformation on this Bumblebee is quick and easy and actually implements some non-geared automorphs that I think really work. It also has some gears for the legs, of course, the traditional Bumblebee leg transformation. And man, the robot mode, I think it looks nice. Sure, it's lacking some paint, but I think it's good. I think it's a good robot. I think it looks the part. I think it feels the part. And honestly, I'm happy that there's now the Studio Series Stinger, because now I can finally replicate that scene. You know that scene.
Stinger, better than Bumblebee in every way.
A combined value of $35 just to do that. Cool. Remember when I was mentioning Bumblebee having another drastic redesign? Well, it happened in Age of Extinction, and you already kind of saw it, but I really need to show how different this Bumblebee is to the other ones. First up, the vehicle mode just has a really odd, interesting design in and of itself. You can tell that Chevy just made an alien-looking car just for Bumblebee. That's what they did, and that's what they've done, and this is what has happened. Okay, so you probably noticed these stupid things. They're throwing stars, you add them in the movie, and they just go on, I mean, you don't have to put them on. I don't. It's terrible. Anyways, let's transform it. You can tell that almost every element of the transformation on this Bumblebee is drastically different. The doors, they're on his arms now. The hood, it goes behind a fake chest. The legs, they just flip-flop, and those annoying pieces I hate go behind the feet. This is some crazy stuff, man. And honestly, I think the robot mode we end up with is okay. It's okay. I think it's kind of cool. He's got a gun hand that just flips out, and I think that's pretty cool. But he does have the battle mask again. We're trying to resurrect the battle mask thing here, and it epically fails. Do you want to know why? No one has ever given this thing any sort of crap. No, everyone just gives this a perfectly passable excuse. The mask only covers half of his face. It only covers half of his face. No one mentions how bad this is. It's all like, yeah, he's got the battle mask. That's cool. No, this is terrible. And oh, look, he's kind of like, huh? What? What did you say to me? Honestly, though, I think the sculpt on this is really cool. The legs, especially. I think this is a cool Bumblebee. Definitely a unique one. He also pairs up with Studio Series Stinger. Pretty cool. Bumblebee, don't do that again, please. I don't want Stinger broken. No! Next up, we're moving on to Transformers The Last Knight. 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 Transform! Why does that commercial bother me so much, man? It's just a commercial. You don't have to worry about it. We have this one. It's interesting. It's very interesting. This is Transformers. Okay. This is Bumblebee. It's an interesting one. This one, they did some things, man. They did some things. Looking at the car mode, and it's a really, really interesting design. This car mode is actually really hard to piece together, actually. You can see right there, it's just not tabbed together. In the front, it's just a little odd. This is a figure, man. This is a figure. I can give it that. Besides the legs being a little tricky and problematic. What do I do, man? What do I do? They say, oh, his feet are really loosey-goosey. They're not if you just press them in, and then you tab them in. And look, now they're not coming out. It's all fine. It's all good. Don't worry about it. The transformation on this guy is actually pretty straightforward and kind of implements the original design elements, but also adds a lot of cool new tweaks. It actually has the accurate sub-door wings, which I think is really cool. And on top of that, it's really fluid, and I think the changes they made to the transformation on this one really benefit it. Another thing they did too, most of the top of the car folds into the body. That's really crazy on a deluxe. We'll see it again here soon, but this is pretty insane. One very notable thing this Bumblebee does is have an interchangeable arm. This is really high-end action figure-like. It's really weird to see a Transformer with an interchangeable body part, and this one has it, and that's really odd. You just pop out the arm, and it's really hard and difficult, and then you pop it back in, and there you go. I'm not going to do it, though, because that is such a pain. One other thing, though, I think it kind of looks cool if you put the chest down, too, instead of up. It's up to you. But one thing that I find really odd about this figure is the head sculpt. I think they just got the head sculpt really good on other Bumblebees, but this one's just really weird. Here, let me pop off the easily pop-offable Battle Blades Bumblebee for a second, and you can see it just looks drastically different, and this one is clearly the better head, so I don't know what went wrong with this. So even though the main 5 Transformers movies are said and done, Hasbro decided, hey, we're not. We're going to cash in on that newfound nostalgia that the Michael Bay Transformers movies have. We're going to come out with Studio Series, basically making better versions of a lot of the old Bayverse characters, and of course, Bumblebee was in Wave 1. You kidding? In the first wave of Studio Series, we had a new classic Camaro Bumblebee. And this is really exciting to me because, you know, I really wanted that old Bumblebee, and that toy's kind of crappy, and they decided to make a new one. And a lot of people give this thing some hate. I think this thing deserves a lot of praise. First up, the alt mode is absolutely exquisite and just captures the classic Camaro design perfectly. So one thing you're probably going to immediately notice with this transformation is that it really is inspired by the Last Night Bumblebee. It's even inspired down to the weird looking head sculpt. It's an interesting thing, especially with the legs. I feel like these legs are even more complicated, and I think this is something where a lot of people are struggling, especially getting into the Camaro mode. Overall though, I think the transformation's really nice, but you may notice something about the arm. The arm on mine just... It just doesn't stay on, dude. Because they also brought back the interchangeable arms, which is kind of cool. You got a nice shiny silver gun arm, and you can put it on. And I typically display them with the gun arm because I think it looks amazing. But the gun arm on mine stays on fine, but the normal arm just will not stay on anymore. And something that even the Last Night Bumblebee does that I neglected to say is that you can actually tab on the other arm on the back as storage, and I think it's really cool. It still has the sub wings, it still has the legs, the back going in, but overall, man, it's cool, and I think it's a really nice figure, and definitely does not deserve being smashed by a hammer. While I think this new Bumblebee looks really nice, it's also really small. They decided to go small with Studio Series to kind of keep a coherent scale, and I'm not exactly sure why they decided to do that besides giving us less toy. But whatever, man, it's cool, it's fine. Next up on the Studio Series adventure is this Bumblebee from the new Bumblebee movie. I've actually already reviewed this Bumblebee in great detail on my channel, so I'm not going to talk too much about him. But let's just say he's pretty cool, but he's got some issues. Hey, look! It's actually canonical that his head is just right there! I've been waiting to make that joke for, a little bit now, because, I mean, every Bumblebee does this, man. All of them. Let's just run through the transformation real quick, because I don't want to relive this right now. These Studio Series figures are just so tiny, it's just kind of hard to get these things with your big hands, and at least the end result is actually really amazing. One editor's note, though, is that this can actually go in even more into the back, but it's a little scary, because I just don't want this thing breaking. But this man is a cool... I love how I just start saying stuff and then I stop. Ah! Studio Series Bumblebee movie Bumblebee is a pretty boy. He's just really pretty. And he's actually so pretty that the masterpiece pretty much seems to be the same thing but bigger. Yeah, if you don't believe me, there's a picture comparison. I don't even have the masterpiece yet because I'm not really sure if it's much better than this thing. But for how small he is, he's awesome. If you want to see more of him, check out my review because you deserve to see this thing in all of its beautiful detail. Especially its cute little nostrils. Because apparently nostrils are going to be a theme in this video. Nostrils. Am I right? Don't worry, we're near the end, we're fine. Just like one left? One left, right? I think so. This may look like the new masterpiece movie Bumblebee, but it's not. This is Legendary Toys LT01. This is a knockoff. And man, it's kind of sad nowadays that we get knockoffs of figures that are actually better than the originals. The original Bumblebee was just kind of lacking in paint a little bit, and Legendary Toys stepped up, made a more affordable knockoff that actually had a better paint and was still the same quality of awesome. This car mode is no exception. While they stripped away the Autobot logos for licensing issues, they felt it was absolutely no problem to keep the Camaro logos, because that won't cause any problems, I guess. Masterpiece movie Bumblebee's transformation is something else. It's almost a perfection of the art form of Bumblebee transformations. It's a little precise and it's a little intricate. You have to get certain things exactly right or else it's not going to work. But the transformation is, like I said, it's almost like an art form perfected. You're just watching this thing and seeing how it goes from Camaro to robot flawlessly. And I'm flabbergasted. Look at this robot. There is no leftover unwanted car parts. Everything is film accurate. Everything. I'm dumbfounded. I'm flabbergasted. I'm blown away. I'm shocked. I'm amazed. Hasbro, Takara, whoever designed this, and Legendary Toys for giving it this premium, amazing paint job, have just outdone themselves. This is, without a doubt, the new king of the Bumblebees. Battle Blades Bumblebee, I'm sorry. Even just seeing these things side to side, like, one is obviously better than the other. You're just left in the dust. This one even has a fully movie-accurate battle mask, where it even has the things stay up there. The articulation is pretty astonishing. It's not perfect, but you pretty much get most of the poses you really want. Unfortunately, even though this thing is pretty much movie accurate, he still can't lubricate on the man. Dude, all you had to do is be a little hinge on that and it would have worked. Why didn't they do it? Huh? Huh?
I don't know. I guess because they don't want pee jokes on their toys.
This Legendary Toys version even comes with the Last Knight hammer, which awesomely actually fits in the hand of the Last Knight Deluxe Bumblebee. So how did this thing get even better? I don't know, but it just did. So there we go. With our king crowned and everything said and done, those are my Bumblebee toys. Hope you enjoyed taking a look at my Bumblebee toys. I have a lot of them, man. I'm sorry. If you sat through this whole thing, I gotta thank you. Really. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for loving Bumblebee, oddly enough, as much as I do. So there we go, guys. Subscribe, leave me 5 stars, make a video response, all those things YouTube doesn't have anymore. Go ahead and do it, because you can still do it. I believe in you. This is why you're here, B. I think the final note of the day, the final one, last one, is that be careful! He's a collector's item! Sting like a bee, blah, blah. I wish to stay with the boy. I'm your oldest friend. She's a super freak, she's super freaky.